welcome back again to In the Third Person. Now, there's a strange sadness that sometimes creeps in when you're sober. And it's not because you miss drinking, but because you start to see things that you couldn't see before, especially in the people that you love who are still drinking. And you just wish that they could see what you can see now. Because from this side where you are, it's just really clear and so obvious, but to them it's invisible. And believe me when I say that when I was a drinker, this stuff was not visible to me either. I'm certain that people witnessed things in me that I was unable to see in myself. I know that. One of the hardest things to witness is somebody you love kind of almost beating themselves up repeatedly, and all just for this short-lived fake version of happiness. It's like watching somebody walk into the sea with their clothes on because they need to cool off, but you know that they're going to get, the tide is going to pull them under, they're going to get swept away. So their fun and what they're calling freedom, it comes with a price. Okay, I learned that what I used to call fun, there was always a cost to that, and the price just keeps getting higher. And the thing is, you can't, the drinker really can't see that so clearly, and it's because they're lost inside it. But when you live sober, you see it from the outside, from in the third person. So there's another thing that's impossible to unsee once you're sober, and it's how kind of extreme the contrast can be between someone's sober self and their drinking self. Like that shift in behavior, maybe someone's a bit stressed out, they're uptight, they overthink things a lot, they're busy, and then suddenly 2 or 3 drinks in, they flip. Suddenly they're loud, carefree, fun. I just want to have fun, and that can be, as someone who's not drinking, it can actually feel quite jarring seeing that happen. It's like watching someone disappear and a new persona step in, and even if that new persona is more fun, it doesn't feel, it's like the drinker thinks that they're letting go, but really from the outside it's like there's a kind of a disconnection. There's a disconnection from like their authenticity, who they really are. And no one wants to really say that out loud, because then you're like the buzzkill. So you just have to, in sobriety, you hold that quietly. And most drinkers don't realise just how much of their life is subtly orbiting around alcohol. It's not always in obvious ways, like getting blackout drunk. Sometimes it's just how plans are shaped. Like, will there be drinks? Should I take extras? How many should I have before I say enough is enough? How late will I stay out? How will I get home? How long am I going to need to recover tomorrow? All these sorts of questions and things you have to consider. And as a non-drinker, you start to see how liberating it is to be free from all of that nonsense, that background noise. But when you're in it, it just feels normal. That's just normal. You don't even see, it's like you've built a cage. You don't even see it because you built it yourself. And most other people have got one just like it. And so it doesn't even really appear weird. It's like you don't see it because it's so normal. It's everywhere. It's just the norm. Oh, and by the way, just wanted to introduce you to somebody. This is Larry. He probably won't look at the camera because he doesn't really know what a camera is. He may be a feature of videos in the future, because I quite often like to film my videos after I've been for a dog walk, because I'm out somewhere in nature, it's quiet. And you're often with me, aren't you, buddy? So I think maybe the most painful part of all of this is knowing that you can't really tell them. As a sober person, you can't really tell that drinker because you can't force it. And the last thing I want to do, and I'm sure other sober people will want to do, is preach. Okay, you don't want to be that guy where you've quit drinking and suddenly you're like trying to tell everyone that they should stop. But that's not what this channel is about, and that's not my message. I've said that before in other videos. But even when your clarity feels like a gift and you want to shout about the freedom and liberation because it brings you so much peace and joy in your life, you want that message to land with the people you care about. And if you did that, you would mean well by giving that message, but it's not always received that way. So you learn to watch in silence, with patience, with compassion, but also with this strange quiet ache in your chest, you know, as you see someone stuck, but they're convinced that they're free and that they're in control. And that's one of the strengths I think that sobriety gives you. You learn to hold space without really like needing to fix anything. You learn to sort of love without controlling or trying to change anyone. And you learn to trust that some people, they'll come to it in their own time, and others might not. They might never come around to that. But either way, you stay rooted, clear-eyed, physically and mentally healthy, and grounded in your own freedom. So if you're sober and you're detecting that kind of sadness, you're not alone. You're not crazy for seeing what others can't. That's part of the gift, I think, really. But it's also the cost of waking up. You know, you're not here to judge. You're here to see. And sometimes just by living that authentically, you can become like a quiet mirror that reflects those new possibilities out to the world, and hopefully to people that you love and care about. You make it possible for someone else to finally look through all the nonsense, you know, and maybe one day they'll ask you how you did it, and you can smile and say something simple like, I stopped lying to myself, or I just finally saw the truth. If any of this resonates with you, please do drop a comment, let me know. Share it with someone who you think might be beginning to see through those cracks. You're not alone in this. And remember that if you want things to shift in your life, keep on watching in the third person. I'll see you next week. Bye.